What's up, Tiger Gang? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new to the channel, I'm JT from the Poco Moonshine family. This is Chatting with Carnivores, and today I have a guest here I've been very excited for, Jeff the Prosperous. How you doing, my man?
I'm great, JT. Thank you for having me here. And I thought I was going to show you up with my bucket hat, but then you put the Jeff the Prosperous glasses on.
I got the Jeff glasses on, you guys. I said, I heard your video. I watched it.
Yeah.
And he's like, JT, I'm gonna wear the bucket hat for the interview. I said, oh crap. I said, I got to get some Jeff glasses now.
So that's how I leaked my secret, in the last video.
Yeah, you gave away your hand too early. Otherwise, you would have had one up on me. But otherwise, I was taking notes, and I was like, okay, I got you. I'm gonna have some fun too.
But listen to this. Listen to this. Like this is. I borrow a lot of these from my son Dante because my son Dante loves bucket hats. So I think
Oh man, he's got some good
yeah,
stuff.
my son Dante likes you right away. He's like, Dad, you gotta do it. You gotta do an interview with him. So this is. It says Fort Lauderdale here. This is where my family likes to go vacation quite often. So I'm wearing that right now. But here is. I'm gonna impress you right now because I got a little more secrets going on here. So now I'm going to switch it up a little bit. I got for every like 5 minutes, I'm going to switch it up. I think. Let me get this one.
Wow. See, I wish you would have told me that. I would have brought all my hats up here and switched.
This one's a little tight, but it says it's got Canada soccer, and in my family, my household is a soccer family. Me and my two sons, like it's like our faith soccer. So this is representing Canada. So all the Canadians that are watching. All right, I'm representing Canada with the soccer logo there. So thanks again, JT.
That's awesome. My coach Bob Proctor was from Canada, so I have, and one of my favorite rappers, Mad Child, he's from Canada too. I love
Mad Child. I gotta look that Mad Child up. I don't know who that is. That's crazy.
Yeah. Oh, Mad Child, look him up, man. He's a Canadian hero, man. He really is.
All right, he's hip hop. He's a hip hop artist, rapper.
Yep. Yeah, he's like
awesome.
He's like another Slim Shady.
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah,
me and my boys love Slim Shady.
Yeah, I know. He's real good. I'm telling you, look, Mad Child, you like him. You look
Mad Child. I'm gonna look him up. Sounds good. Thank you.
So, how are you just got some results and they didn't go quite exactly how you wanted, but I like how you didn't call it a setback, my dude.
Yes, I'm making a little bit of a side shuffle here, JT. Thanks for approaching it that way. And yeah, so like I've had a lot of success, with my illness that I have, stage 4 colon cancer that's metastasized the liver. I've had a lot of success. Like I've been on this journey now for about 19, 20 months. Like, come April, it's going to be 2 years. I've been on this journey, and I've had a lot of success where things are shrinking and stuff, and I'm actually wowing my oncologist, scan after scan after scan. But I took a bit of a break from chemo, and I took a bit of break, not just chemo, a lot of things. Came back, started that same type of chemo, 3 months, had a scan. When a couple things grew a little bit, and there might be a couple new spots, so they said, listen, that just means the chemo's not working. And I was kind of prepared for it. I was down for a little bit. My wife and I and my kids were a little bit down at the beginning, but like I said, I side shuffled and I said, okay, I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. I'm going to step up my game a little bit. I'm going to embed some more things. Like just this week, I reintroduced high dose vitamin C. I reintroduced, I newly introduced hyperbaric chamber oxygen treatment. And the newest thing, this is unbelievable. And I think someone like you and all my subscribers, they've been kind of encouraging me to have a new mantra. But I had this colleague, young teacher fellow of mine, sent me a message. He was just going how much he loves me and wants me to keep fighting. But he said, Jeff, can you start a new challenge where you stop introducing yourself as Jeff, stage 4 colon cancer, and start saying, hey, my name is Jeff, and I'm on a journey to being cancer free. And I love it. And I think I can. So I'm on day 3 of that, and I just kind of pick a highlight of my day where I make a little short, and I just say, hey, I tell everybody I'm Jeff, and I'm on a journey to be cancer free. So I think it's working. So I feel good the last 3 days.
Yeah, you become what you think about, man, and just a slight shift in your mindset, and it's way more empowering to say something one way than a different way. So that's a good friend, man. I'm telling you.
Yes,
and
yes,
I saw you in that tank. I consider you in my head, man, a superhero, because
thank you. Oh,
it's
geez.
the attitude, man. You've got such a good attitude. I'm sure sometimes you have some down moments, but for the majority of it, man, I think you've got an incredible attitude, unlike probably most people would have in that situation. But when I saw you in that oxygen tank, you know what superhero it reminded me of?
Hold on a second here. My sons would be able to guess right now for sure, but I'm gonna say Iron Man, maybe.
Deadpool.
Deadpool.
Do you
Yes.
remember when he was in the tank and the guy put
Yes.
him in there to
Well,
activate his superhero genes, whatever?
well, Deadpool is that it's a Marvel movie, right? Marvel, it's
Yeah,
made by
yep.
Marvel, and I love Marvel, but yeah, I always started trying to watch Deadpool with my sons when they were little, and there's a little bit bad language in it, and like there's a lot of like, so I'm like I had to keep turning it off. So I don't know Deadpool as well as I know all the other Marvel characters. But
Check it
thank you,
out though. He was put in
I
the
will.
oxygen tank too, man. And
He was, eh?
yeah, yeah. And it reminded me of that. I was like, dude, this dude is a superhero. He's activating his superhero genes. Like,
That's it. Absolutely. I'm going to think of now every single time I go in there, I'm going to think that you told me that. So, and yeah, that's what I need to do. Activate the superhero genes.
and they just can't kill Deadpool, man. So you're in a good scene there, you know. So
Sounds good. Sounds good. I've been doing a little bit of research on the hyperbaric oxygen chamber, and my buddy Dwight Garlow that I talk about all the time. He's
mhm.
like, Jeff, we got to get you doing hyperbaric. He's been telling me this for the past 6 months, right? So, and I'm doing a lot of research, and then I get my sons Peter and Dante. They're like, Dad, LeBron James has got one of those in his house, right? And I'm like, just the other day, I go, hey, do you think LeBron James would let me come over and try it out? I'm trying to become like buddies with him. So because I gotta get like a rich friend that's got one of those things because
Everybody
it's
tag LeBron James in the comments for
that's
Jeff.
it.
Let's
Absolutely.
go.
Please do tag him up. Okay.
Tag the king. Let's
Yeah,
go.
even if I get LeBron James to wink at me, I'll be happy. It'll make my day.
That's awesome. And I'm telling you, you inspire me, man. Like I said, it's the attitude. And I think a lot of people going through that and I'm not getting on nobody, but it's just easy to get down about yourself. How do you prevent yourself from staying in a a low vibration, and not feeling bad for yourself and shaking it off and just saying, all right, let's do this.
Yeah, you know
I'm
what?
doing this.
That's a great question, JT, because you're totally right. Like especially when I go to that, I call it a horrible place, that chemo clinic. When I go there every Wednesday, I'm not excited to go there. I'm not gonna lie, okay? Because all the people around me, they can't. I want to whisper this. They kind of look like they're dying, and they're
Yeah.
down, right? Like, and then I go to but right after that, I go to the natural path, which is out of town. I drive there quickly for hyperthermia is a different type of treatment. I also get high dose vitamin C there once in a while. But when I go to that place, at least there's everyone wants to live. Like there's a whole bunch of cancer people there too, but they want to live in the natural path clinic, right? It's a different atmosphere. Like so to answer that question, JT, it's I gotta surround myself with positive people as much as possible, right? That's the one thing someone told me when I first got diagnosed. And the first positive people that I surround myself with is my beautiful wife Martha and my two sons Peter and Dante. They're the lights in my life right now, and especially my sons because you know what they're 15 and 13, and they're teenagers, right? And I can only imagine what they're going through, but when they're positive and they're supporting dad and they just want they're like my best friends. We hang out all the time, right? And I'm growing with them as teenagers and they're interacting with it's just a great atmosphere in our house right now. So that's one thing that keeps me going. The other thing is those small groups of friends, right? Like Dwight Garlow, I couldn't do it without him. So when I'm feeling down, you know what? I talk to Dwight. I call him up. I say, hey, what do I need to add in my regimen? Give me some tips. Send me some videos, right? And then when I met Carrie Mann, oh, that I couldn't believe it. He was like, and he's very similar to you. Like, you guys make me smile. Like today I'm driving, and I decide to like listen to some Carrie Mann stuff while I'm driving, and it just cheers me up. It just makes me smile, right? And it gets me in a better mood. And you have that same quality. Thank you, JT. That when I listen to you and all those doctors too, right. So surrounding myself constantly. When I tell people I watch videos all day long now, I never thought I would do this. When Dwight sent me the first video 2 years ago, he goes, "Can I send you some videos?" He starts sending me doctors, and then he tells me he watches like eight to 10 hours of videos a day. I'm like, this guy's no way. This guy, like, how does he do it? And I know how he does it. He has it playing all the time, right, in his ear, wherever what he's doing. And so I'm starting to do the same thing, and that's what keeps my spirits up, right? I can listen to Thomas Seyfried, the professor from Boston University, and that guy, he makes cancer sound like nothing. Like he says, he's like, it's easy. You block glucose, you block glutamine. He says, and it makes, and then it calms me, right? It's like, oh, this is easy. I got this. I
So
can
you
do
start
this.
getting his mindset. This is easy.
Yes,
This is easy.
yes,
This is easy.
yes. So I think that's the thing, right? And I try to have those people in my life all the time. And you know what? The sad thing is, though, I have to live in this world, and I have to go places. I have to do this. And I'm living, right? Like I'm going to Starbucks. I'm meeting people. And I'm coaching a lot of youth sports. A lot. I like I'm a high school phys ed teacher, right? And my and I'm still able to coach sports, and I need to do that. It's part of my regimen, right? But you run into people that are angry, that are upset, that are this and that, and it's like, so then I have to learn how to, you know what? Who knows what's going on in their life, right? And I just try to, and you know what? If they're gonna upset me, I gotta distance myself from them, right? And I try to do that as much as possible. I distance myself from the negative people, right? There's
Mm.
negative. You walk into any job, right? There's negative people everywhere, right? So when I walk into like my school where I teach, listen, I know which teachers or which employees are they're always in a bad mood and negative. So I'm just gonna kind of stay away from them, or I'm gonna smile a little more at them and try to cheer them up at least. You know what I mean? Because that's the thing. You can't have negative people in your life when you're going. Especially, I think everybody needs to avoid that. But when you're going through what I'm going through, Dwight always tells me. He says, "Jeff, you got to keep the mitochondria like stress free. You got to make sure your mitochondria is stress free." Right. So I'm trying my best to do that.
I just think it's amazing. Like you've got stage 4 cancer, and you're worried about smiling at people to to kind of brighten their day, man. I I'm telling you, you guys, this guy has amazing attitude, and it's such a blessing that you can actually subscribe to his channel, Blessings on My Journey. How did you come up with that title? What inspired that, Jeff?
Yeah. Thanks. That's another great question. Wow. The whole time I've been going through this, like I said, 19, 20 months now, um, I see the world as a different place right now, like that I did for the first 42 years of my life. Okay. Um, it's unbelievable the stuff I see in the world now with my own eyes. And it can be just in my own household, or even when I go into Starbucks, or even when I walk into the school now to teach or coach kids as a volunteer. When I go, I see it differently now, right? But I see it. I'm seeing a lot more. Every single thing happening in my life right now is a blessing, including my cancer, including me getting cancer. This is if you believe in a higher power, this is the good Lord's way of saying, hey, Jeff, you know what? You weren't living your life to the fullest. You need to slow down and chill out and take care of yourself a little more. But maybe I need to be nicer to other people too, right? So I'm trying. That's why I'm saying, when I say, I try my best to be nice and kind and loving to everybody when I run into them, right? It's because that's what we're supposed to do as human beings, right? I'm realizing that now, right? It's very sad that I had to get stage 4 cancer to realize this. I'm not saying people that know me, I've been teaching for 21 years. I was not an absolute prick before. Okay. I think my students can attest. I was probably one of their favorite teachers, and I was always energetic and passionate, right? But when stress came into my life, I didn't know how to deal with it. I don't think I took it the wrong way, right? And I created lifestyle habits, and maybe I didn't talk to people the right way sometimes when stress came into my life. So now I understand how we're all living in this world, and we're all living in this world for a certain purpose, right? And we can, and there's blessings right in front of us every single day. So, and every single day I wake up, obviously I wake up, I talk about this all the time. I go to sleep and I think about this horrible disease I have. I wake up and I'm like, oh my God, it's still there. It's still there. But then I forget about it. And right away, I go on, I think about the blessings. I think about Peter. I think about Dante. I think about Martha. I think about my mom. I think about my sister. I think about everybody, right? And those are my blessings, right? And I start counting those things. And that's why I call it blessings on my journey. I'm on a journey right now. And that journey, that teacher Aaron that texted me the other night, he said, you are on a journey to being cancer free. And he's absolutely right, because I was approaching it. I'm learning every single day. I was approaching it like, hey, I go up to people. You look great. Yeah, I look pretty good for having stage 4 cancer, right? So now I'm going to be like, hey, yeah, I'm looking good because I'm on that journey to being cancer free. It's a different mindset, and I'm trying to convince myself now, because that's a blessing that Aaron guy told me. Hey, Jeff, and a lot of people have been telling me it. Like Carrie's been dropping the lines here and there. Dwight's been dropping the lines about the positive mindset. There's that one girl that she comments on everything. I love her. Her name's Sandra, One Hope for All. She's always telling me, hey, watch your language, Jeff. Watch what you're saying, right? And no, but in a good way. Like she's
yelled at me too, so I know.
Yeah, that's good. Sandra, shout out to you. I'm sure she's tuned in tonight, right? Like she's super awesome. And she told me, you better. Listen. I don't mind when she gives me crap or whatever you want to call it, right? She my name's Sandra. I call her One Hope for All the time. Okay, now I'm gonna start calling her Sandra. All right. So and I got no problem with that. But maybe before I had cancer, maybe I did have problems with that. Maybe I took them too hard, too much, too serious. No, like, you know what? I try to see people as they are, and I try to let people be the type of people that they are. Like sometimes people live in this world like, oh, I want to change this person. You can't change anybody, right? You can change yourself. Maybe you can take control of yourself, right? And try to be the best human being as possible. And that's why I love that you got Healing Humanity up there, because that's what Carrie and you and me, that's what we're trying to do right now, right? We're doing this for all the human race, right?
What does, when you think healing humanity, what is that? What thoughts come up? What feelings come up?
Yeah, well, right away, that's again, great question. I when I first heard it come up, right away I hear the word healing. So as a teacher, I think, okay, human beings are getting more and more filled with diseases, right? As a health teacher, right? Because I've been teaching this all the last 21 years. I'm like, what can we do to prevent getting things, or what can we do to heal our bodies when we're not so well, right? So I think I when I see that word healing, I think, we got to, and I'm seeing a lot more in this in the world today. Younger people getting sick, getting cancer, getting type 2 diabetes. Even dogs, like we got not only healing humanity, but even our pets. Like I just got my first pet I ever had in my life 2 months ago, Super Mario. He's a little Bichon puppy. I bought this pet, and someone told me, well, you know what? It's going to live for 8 to 10 years. But 30 years ago, this pet lived 16 to 18 years. So even the dogs are getting filled with diseases, right? So I'm like, the healing word, but then as I got to know Carrie, and I met Adam Lacey from Carnivore Today. Shout out to him too. These guys are unbelievable human beings. They didn't just come to film me for a documentary. They came to like become my friend. They came to Canada. They came to visit me. They hung out with me. They hung out with my family. They listened to our stories. They turned the camera off so many times, and just were my friends. And that's what human beings, like humanity, is just, you know what, sometimes, we're on these devices, and right now we're on a device right now, but we need to put these down and just interact with each other, right? And as a teacher, I see it, these things, they're really poisoning the teenagers, right? And the younger kids and the youth. And not only that, but even adults, right? So that's what when I see that word healing humanity, yeah, I think of diseases, I think of this, but then I think about the human race and how we got to treat each other and respect each other and build and try to build each other up, right? That's what I see in that title.
Absolutely, build each other up instead of break each other down. Now, you've been working with teenagers for years.
Mm-hmm.
What's the best way to communicate something as important as the carnivore diet and your health and your nutrition to a teenager? What's the best way to get through to a teenager, Jeff?
That's a very good question. And I'm especially right now, I'm kind of struggling with it. In the past, it was a lot different. Like when I first started teaching, the first 5 years, and then 10 years, it changed a little bit, like in terms of what's going on in a teenager's life, right? But right now, it's getting very, very difficult because the thing is, when you deliver a message to kids, to students, sometimes they interpret things the wrong way and they take it the wrong way and they get down on themselves. And then you know what? And then they got parents at home going, "Oh, what's going on? What's it?" And they start defending their kids, and they're like, so like for example, Dwight and I, we talk about it all the time with our athletes that we coach. We tell the story, and I think that's the best way to communicate with students. That's your question, is telling this, tell your story, right? You can't be in that. I tried being that teacher maybe at the beginning where I came in and I opened up a binder and I put an overhead. But back in the day, I started with overhead projectors 20 years ago, right? Or PowerPoint, and I put it up and I go, okay, today we're going to learn about nutrition, and we're going to learn about the 3 macronutrients: carbohydrates, protein, and fat. Okay, everyone copy down the definition, okay? And then we're gonna talk about what they do, right? And so, but if I come in and I tell the story instead to these kids, wow, they start to grasp it, right? Like I tell my story. I'm Jeff, okay? Now my story's changed now a little bit. Instead of I saying I'm Jeff, a stage work, I'm Jeff, and I'm on a journey to being cancer free, right? I'm Coach Jeff, right? This is what I've been doing the last 20 months. Coach Jeff's only been eating meat, only been eating animal products, not just meat. I eat eggs. I eat the odd cheese here and there. I eat the cream, the heavy cream. But majority, Coach Jeff's been eating meat. I tell that story to them. I don't tell them, hey, you need to go home and eat meat only. I'm not going to do that, right? I think that's the way we got to approach kids, is we got to tell the story. Coach Dwight does the same thing too. He does it. And all my great coaches, I know you speak about your coach all the time. I think a real good coach or a real good teacher, when you tell your story and you let them in your life a little bit to understand, they're like, then they really get your attention and they grasp on. And I was just coaching boys basketball just before I made it home at 6:15. I'm like, Peter, I gotta get ready for JT. And we were because I just coached Peter and the junior boys basketball team at my high school. Oh, it was an intense game. We won. We were down 15 points going into the fourth quarter, and then we won by 3. It was really intense.
Comeback games are the best, aren't they? So exciting.
Oh, so exciting. I was hyped up, right? But in the middle of me coaching, I got a couple boys. They really gravitate towards me, right? Like I'm on the bench. I got Coach Dwight standing up. I label him the head coach. I'm the helper coach, okay? But we change roles all the time. But one kid sitting beside me, tonight he goes to me, hey Coach Jeff, how do you improve eyesight? Just out of the blue like that. We're in the middle of the game. Like we're trying, how do you improve eyesight? Right. And I go, well, that's a good question. Right. And I go, we were taught a long time ago that, I eat a lot of carrots. Now I've been reading about that and I've been watching Dr. Anthony Shafee talk about that. And you know what? That's kind of a myth, right? Because those things that carrots have, they're not bioavailable. And then I talk about, the vitamin A or the vitamin K, the vitamin A in eggs and K, that they can help, like, and in meat as well. And I say, listen, this is what I'm finding right now. So the thing is, I don't have to really teach or preach it. Once you tell your story, then the kids, they gravitate and they start asking questions here and there when they want to learn, right? And those are the best lessons. And I'll be honest with you, JT, I've been totally blessed in life to be given the opportunity to work with kids for the past 21 years and talk to kids and teach kids, because the kids are the best people on the face of this earth, especially teenagers. I love it. Like they get a bad rap sometimes. They're the best people ever. They know how to live life, and they're happy, and they're not, you know what I mean? Most of the time, these kids, there are lights in the world. So I think, and we got to continue respecting them and teaching them, and because that's how we're going to heal humanity, right? These kids are going to be the next generations that we got to keep passing the message on to.
I think you're spot on. You know, tell the story. My coach was big on that, and that's really what humanity, healing humanity, the documentary is doing. It's telling each individual story, and people can judge it from there. You know, they can see these results that you're getting, that Bill's getting, Maggie. I mean, come on, how healthy is she? You
Oh
know what
my
I'm
goodness,
saying?
Maggie. Listen, when I get, like, for instance, okay, my dad passed away, okay, but a year ago when I was embarking in this, my mom and dad are like, "Oh, it's too late for us. It's too late for us to start this carnivore diet or eating." No, it's not. You look at
You're
Maggie.
alive. You can start the carnivore diet.
Exactly, 100%, right? So Maggie's story is shining right now, and when we get that out there, it's going to be awesome. I got to change my hat because it's been like more than 10.
Let's
It's gonna be more.
go.
It's gonna be more than 10 minutes. This one here. Oh yeah, this is my baby too. What does that say there? Eat. What? Can you read it? Italia. Can you guys see it? Italia.
Hey,
Italia.
nice.
That's Italy. That's my favorite. And if I rotate it, there's the symbol of the Italian national soccer team. So I think me and my boys, I took my family to Italy in 2016. Peter and Dante were a lot younger. But again, wherever we go on vacation, my son Dante, you got to get a bucket hat because we hang
That
out.
is awesome. I'm gonna start doing that now.
Yeah, and you can start collecting things from different bucket hats, right?
Yeah, no, that is awesome. It's like different bucket hats represent different experiences in life, you
Yes,
know?
yes, and I love it. Yeah, that's the analogy, JT. Like I can change my hat as much as I want, and I do that. Like an hour ago, I changed my hat, and I was Coach Jeff. Okay, I come home, I change my hat, and I'm the father. I'm father or husband Jeff, right? You know what I mean? You can change your hats all day long. You can be whatever you want to be, right? And I think that's the best thing in life when you can have fun with it like that.
Yeah, life is our stage, and we can be good guys or we could be bad guys, and
Yeah.
it's really up to us, you know. And I, speaking of being a good guy, which you are,
Thanks.
let's say someone is watching this and this does 10 million views, right? Someone's watching this and they've been diagnosed with cancer and they're in a bad space. What do you think their mindset should be that you would coach them on to
Yeah,
help,
that's a
you
good.
know, put them in the right direction?
Yeah, that's a good question because I'm running into a lot of those people, right? The world I live in, right? Being at the cancer clinics, I'm meeting a lot of these people where I run into them, and I feel I feel how sad they are, and I feel um, how the feeling you get, I guess, because I got it. I definitely got it when I first diagnosed. Your world just crashes on top of you, like it just crushes you, and you're like, and you feel hopeless, and you feel like you question your existence, like what you've been doing here this whole time, because now this is brought upon you, right? So I understand where they're coming from, and it's it, it's very difficult. I can't say I wish I could help everybody when I run into them, but you got to try to respect them and give them space. And I think they just they need to try their best to connect with the just I think it's okay for them to close their world off a little bit, because I did that. I'm actually going to make a video after tonight for Carrie Mann. It has to do with depression. I think Carrie Mann's asking for these videos today. He was asking them, and
I've got to film one
I'm
too.
I'm going to tell the world something about me when it comes to my mental health that I was struggling with. Okay, and I'm going to keep that a secret. I'm going to make a video, but what I'm trying to say is, when you get this news, it's okay. I closed the world off. I did. And people in my hometown in Brantford, there was a nasty rumor going around when I went off work because I disappeared. It's the first summer, that summer of 2022, that Jeff DeProsperous was in a hospice ready to die, but I was living my life. But I kept to myself, right? And then I started having students. Like it was I was getting flowers, roses, dropped out, cards were dropped off my house. Like I had one student come visit me in my backyard. Like he was in first year university, and he was devastated to hear. He goes, "Mr. Prosperous, you look pretty good," he said to me right away. I, like he goes, "I don't want to tell you this, but there's a this is I remember this story. This student, he's like, there's a horrible rumor going around about you." And I go, I just started to hear it, right? And I laughed. I go, "Do I look like I'm dying?" Right? And you know, and that's how these. So you got to let people be who they are when they get this message, okay? But then I don't know how I started. Once again, I'm going to come back. It's the people you surround yourself with. You know, my wife and my kids, they helped me at the beginning, but then it was, you got to open up a little bit. And that was tough for me. That was very tough. Dwight helped me open up a little bit. Then I had another close friend help me out a little bit more. He's like, hey, you know what? Let's go out. Like those really close friends, they'll come out of the woodworks. Those people that you thought were your friends, listen, I got a whole bunch of them. I thought they were my friends, but they disappeared. I got this disease and they disappeared. But those really good ones, they won't let you down, and you have to try to let them in. That's what I could tell people. Try to let them in, because if you let them in and you start doing things, going out into the world, you know what, my friends were great. It's like, you know what, let's go to the mall, but we won't go in your hometown. We'll drive 40 minutes out of town, so you don't have to see people, you know, right? Just to get you out of the house moving, right? So those were the little things that helped me. And you got to trust people. You got those people that are your close friends, you got to trust them, right? So that's what I think I would say to someone that is so down on themselves when they get this news. That's fine. Take your time, be yourself, but open up. Start to open up to the people that love you, right? Because they're gonna help you, you know, have a bright mindset, and they're gonna help you live the rest of your life with positivity and blessing, and counting your blessings and everything. They're going to help you do that. So that's my advice, I think, to them.
You know, and you gain clarity on who's friends, who's not. You gain clarity on a lot of things, I feel like, when something like this comes up. And my coach would always say that sometimes the worst things that could happen to us set us up for the best things in life that'll ever happen to us.
100%.
And I'm a firm believer in that. I really am. Like, the things that have happened to me got me to the point now where I had to look for the solution. I found Carrie yapping about it, and thank goodness the Lord blessed Carrie with, which some say is a big mouth. He likes to talk a lot. Thank God for it, because
100%.
He's helped a lot of people. So I am thankful he's got a big mouth. We should buy him some brand new toothbrushes and whatever he needs to take care of his big mouth. And
100%. I agree.
It's blessed.
You know what? It is a good thing. It is a good thing. And you're totally right. Carrie's our friend, and we could talk about him like this, but I'm sure there's a lot of people that watch him and they see a different Carrie. They see a guy with a big mouth and he's arrogant and ignorant, right? But no, if you just open up and listen to what really Carrie's trying to do, you're going to realize that he's one of the best human beings like I've ever met, right? So that's the thing, right? And you said something just a second ago. It reminds me of Michael Jordan. Okay. He talks about it all the time. People think that I've made every single shot, those buzzer beater shots at the end to win championships. You know how many shots he says he missed to get to that point, right? Like you're gonna mess up. You're gonna have a lot of failures in your life and shitty moments. Sorry, my language there. Oops, I'm not swearing here on YouTube. Crappy moments in your life. Okay. But they're going to make you stronger. I firmly believe that. I really do. Those if you can spin it the right way, and you need support to help you spin it the right way.
Yes, the obstacles, we should bless them as stepping stones, and a failure is just data. It tells us what works, what doesn't work, and I feel like if more people were just less afraid to fail, they would win a lot more, in my opinion.
Yes. I agree with you 100% there, JT.
So, how awesome is this cancer action plan that you guys came up with? I mean, I absolutely love it, man. I'm telling
That's
you, it's
great.
got the mindset built into it. You guys got info, sources, a call to
That's
action. It's beautiful.
You know what? That's all Kerry, man. To be honest with you, and he passes it off on me, being all me. But the thing is, I think it's pretty decent right now, but it's going to keep getting better every single day. Like this is what you call like I went on the website a few times to take a look at things, but I know this is an ongoing what do you call it? It's a live document almost that we're going to keep updating, okay, and putting and trying our best to be as professional as possible with this cancer action plan, this metabolic therapy treatment or additional options, integrative healthcare, whatever you want to call it, okay, for cancer patients. I think Carrie had a great idea with doing this because all these people, they don't know, like, I speak about my 10 to 12 regimens that I do right now. I think I'm up to like 16, to be honest with you. After this, I might start counting on my fingers, but
You gotta do an updated video.
yeah, I know. I need to do an updated video or something, right? Of all these regimens but all these people just, and I get it. I really do. And I understand we do need to trust our doctors. They are smart people. They've gone to school for a long time, 8 years. I'm not mocking any doctor, any oncologist, any whatever, right? We do have to put our faith in them. I get it. But sometimes people put all their faith in them and they just go home and they rely on them for everything, right? So Kerry says it. He goes, "You got to take things with your own two hands, right? And I kind of think of it in basketball. You got to get up and grab that rebound, and you got to squeeze that rebound, right? And take control, right? And know your options. If I want to talk about sports, passing that ball around, you got options. You got tons of teammates. It's not just that. It's not just that chemo doctor, right? My chemo doctor is great. My oncologist is great, and I talk to him about things. And I'm very blessed to have a good one. Okay. But not everybody does all the time. And then they get closed-minded about, okay, man, I don't know about this fasting, and I don't know about these diets that they do. And they don't know about them. And then their doctors don't encourage them to research it. So that's where getting this word out, and even doing this video tonight, people are watching, like, hey, listen, go, like, I know you're gonna say it, I know you are, but like, go to that website and check it out, and then help out Kerry, because he's got this mission. He wants to get 1 million signatures, and I think we're gonna achieve it. It's gonna take a while, but we're gonna achieve it.
If you
Right?
can see it in your mind, it's gonna happen.
Yes, 100%. Right? But let's speed up this process, because there's people dying every single day.
Yeah.
From cancer, right? It's getting worse and worse and worse. Okay. So let's try to help it. Let's try to speed up this process. And I think that the meaning is, when you sign this, that's telling us that you looked this over, you've taken it in, you probably like it, and you're going to share it with anybody that you need to share it with, right? Because I think everybody in their life right now has someone going through cancer. That's how sad this disease is in this world. Someone has someone going through it. They know someone. It's a family member, it's a friend, it's this and that, right? Or someone's died from it recently, right? So let's get moving on this. That's what I'm gonna encourage people as much as possible. Let's get moving. Spread the word.
Yeah, it's so important. I've had multiple people in my family that have had cancer and beat the cancer. Fortunately, thank goodness.
Awesome.
My sister had a Make-A-Wish back in the day. She had ovarian cancer, kind of like Diane. You familiar
Yeah.
with Diane? I had her on the.
Diane. Yeah. That's awesome. Your sister had ovarian cancer?
Yep. When she's 16, 17.
16, 17.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. Like,
Yeah,
there's some,
it was tough
yeah.
on the family, so I can relate to anybody who's either going through cancer, or it's someone in your family. Like, it's tough on everybody, and it
How old's your sister now?
she's 2 years older than me, so she's like 36.
She's living a pretty good life right
Oh,
now.
she's married, she's happy,
That's
she's got
awesome.
3 dogs, she's doing good. So
Shout out to your sister. If she's watching right now, or if she's gonna watch this later, shout out. That's super awesome. And
thank you.
she should just keep telling her story, because you telling me that story right now gives me hope, gives me inspiration, gives me motivation. So well done, JT sister. That's
Absolutely.
awesome.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yes.
When we were at the Make-A-Wish in Florida, she wanted to go to Disney World. So they sent us to Florida, and they had like this fishing pond on the grounds for the Make-A-Wish people. And they had a fishing contest, and my sister caught the most fish that night. So, I mean, here she is with cancer, and she's just spanking all the fish left and
That's
right. I was
awesome.
like,
That's
wow.
amazing. That's amazing. You got video of that? You
No, I
recorded?
wish I did. That was like,
It was back in the day.
yeah, that was back in the day. I
flip,
just
the
probably
flip
got my
phone with
first cell phone.
yeah, that's right. Okay, I gotta switch it up here. Let me
Another
see.
hat switch up, you
Yeah,
guys.
switch up. Let me see. Let me see it here. Okay. Okay. So this one here. Okay, it's focusing. And I don't know if is it gonna focus. Let me see here. In my camera, focus in. Anyways, it says Saint. You can't see it, but it says Saint Teresa's. Let me see. What does it say? Saint Teresa's Timberwolves, class of 2022. So that was my son Peter. His graduate. He graduated from elementary school.
And they
In
gave him a
2000.
bucket hat.
They gave him a bucket hat. Isn't that
Damn, I wish I
unbelievable?
went to that school.
Yeah, absolutely. And so that's my kid's school, and this is my school where I teach. Okay, I put this on
St. John's.
to represent. That's right. That's St. John's. That's and it says phys ed there. I'm very proud. I'm very proud. You know, whatever team, whatever school, whatever team you cheer for, I like wearing the colors, right? Like all the time. Like if I go to a hockey game with my wife or something, or I go to a soccer game with my sons, hey guys, let's go get the jersey. We got to wear the jersey to the game, right? You got to wear the scarf. You got to wear the scarf. You got to
I
represent.
feel like it's energy. You know, like you feel
Yes,
like you're in vibe with the whole place. Then you know, like you're geared up,
absolutely,
you're ready.
absolutely,
Part of the
absolutely.
mindset.
Yes, and then I look if I go to a hockey game, especially the Toronto Maple Leafs, where I live in coastal Toronto, and then I look over to the right and left of me, and all these rich dudes in suits and stuff, and I'm like, okay, they're not having as much fun as me, because I got my scarf, I got my bucket hat, I got everything on, right?
Yeah,
So
no, you gotta live life. That's
yeah,
part of the reason why I wear the bucket hat, because life is too short. And
yes, absolutely.
it's just too short. Now, carnivore diet, fasting, and exercise, those are kind of like your personal staples. How
That's yes, yes.
how important is exercising for fighting cancer?
That's a good question, and I am actually I'm toying with it. I'm a little bit. I'm a little bit trying to learn every day more about that. I know the importance of exercise, obviously, as a phys ed teacher, right, and an athlete. I know the importance and how it makes you feel, right? My whole life, whenever I'm like, whenever as a teacher I go on summer holidays and then I'm not working out as much because I'm not teaching phys ed classes, and I start to feel sluggish, and then I start to eat bad and stuff like that. I've done that for many years, right? So I know how good exercise makes anybody feel. Okay. Now, the intensity is what I'm trying to figure out here. Because I just did a podcast with Dr. Kiltz yesterday. Okay.
No,
It's
you're
going to go.
killing it, man. You're
Yeah,
all over the place.
Dr. Kiltz is awesome. And it's going to come out in a couple weeks on his podcast channel. But Dr. Kiltz, he's got these 5 pillars that cause diseases. And his 5th pillar is exercise. So he'll say like plants is something, sugar is another thing, like all these things that cause diseases. And then he gets to exercise, and he says it's a pillar to cause disease. Now I try to pick his brain a little bit yesterday on this one. It sometimes we take exercise to the extreme, and we're high intensity, and it's like and we're stressing our bodies out too much, I think. And I think that's what he's referring to. And sometimes those too many of those stress hormones will cause diseases, right? So you need to keep moving. That's what the thing is with me. And Kiltz, he was funny yesterday in the middle of his interview, just like I'm grabbing bucket hats. He picked up a dumbbell, and he goes, Jeff, I have these all around my house. He's like, I get reps in wherever I go, right? He's not saying don't exercise. He's just saying you got to be smart with it. You got to move all day long. He's like, he talks about like the certain tribes, right? That they don't stop moving. They get up and they're hunting and they're doing this and they're taking care of their family and they're starting fires and they're doing things, right? So it's all about moving, right? So exercise is huge. Now, on the flip side of things, I got this cancer friend. Her name's Ronnie Campbell. She's got no problem. I did a podcast with Carrie and her back like a month and a half ago, too early, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she's a role model for me. She lives in my hometown, and she beat stage 4 cancer. Very similar to me. It actually spread even more. And her regimen was, she had a clean Mediterranean diet, but she did 3-day fast around her chemo. But her exercise regimen, she was a triathlete. She swam, biked, and ran every single day, except when she had the chemo bottle attached to her. She was walking. But when that ball came off, she did all those 3 as a triathlete. Like, so that's pretty intense, I think. Like, she did it every day. So I'm trying to learn. I'm trying to pick these. I know how good moving is as a phys ed teacher. And I try to do push-ups. Like Dr. Kilt said to me, Jeff, I wake up and I do push-ups. Okay, good. Push-ups are good. I'm doing push-ups, right? And I also watched Chris Hemsworth on Disney Plus. That's Thor. You know Chris Hemsworth. Am I saying his name right? Chris Hemsworth.
I'm sure all the ladies are familiar with him.
Oh yeah, he's a stud, right? Like he's like Hercules. He's like the modern day Hercules, right? So Thor, Chris Hemsworth, he does a great 6 episodes, I believe. I think it's called, I forget what the show's called. It's on Disney Plus, but he does an episode on they're all on longevity, and he does one on heat and cold. He does one on fasting, and then he does one on exercise. And that one on exercise, I'm probably going to go rewatch it tonight, to be honest with you, because I remember him talking about how exercise it even fights diseases like cancer, and he talks about how like keeping those muscle fibers strong, especially when you're getting beaten down by chemotherapy in these cancer patients, right? It destroys all the cells, right? So you got to try to rebuild everything right away. I try to get the chemo out of my system right away. I'm doing this all the time, right? And I try to rebuild those cells, and I rebuild those strong cells, because if you have all these strong muscle fibers and stuff, it's going to take care of the cancer cells, hopefully. So there's a lot of importance to exercise, and I'm learning every single day. But it's definitely something huge in my regimen. And you mentioned the other things, fasting and diet. Those 3 pillars are huge. They're the biggest part of my regimen.
Yeah, and I recall one of your videos, you said that they kind of recommended that you take it easy after your treatments, right? And you said that really actually wasn't doing you good. You needed to keep moving to feel better, like, because when you laid around and rested, you felt worse, kind of, right?
100%, JT. You have watched a lot of my videos, because I haven't. I was talking about that a lot at the beginning. All my doctors are like, "Hey, you got stage 4 colon cancer. You're terminally ill. You're this, that. You're palliative. You just got to take it easy. Go home, take it easy, relax.
Go home, stop living. Lay down, do nothing. No, man, now's the time to go.
Yeah, they actually told me not to lift things. Don't lift heavy things. Don't lift heavy things. I'm like, I was blown away. I'm like, I went home for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I'm like, I can't do this. There's no way I can do this. I got to move.
I'm so glad you took things into your own hands, and it's not like you just threw all their advice out the window, but you're like, hey, listen, this isn't working for me. I need to add in this, that, and this, and possibly maybe more, but like, I got to do things my way.
Absolutely. And you know what? And you're still going to get these people that they approach you, and I can't stand it when they run into me and they say, "Oh, are you okay?" And they start patting your shoulder. I'm like, listen, you don't need to treat me like that. You know what I mean? And I got one good buddy. I was talking to him on the phone the other day. He's an old teacher friend of mine, right? And he's older than me. And he's like, your schedule's insane. You got to take it easy. You got to chill. Like I go, why? Why do I need to? I go, listen, keeping a busy schedule. Listen, I'm not stressed the way I was when I'm working. Okay. When you're working, I get it. And people have jobs, they occupy your mind, and they take over your body, and you get stressed. I'm not stressed like that. Just because I have a busy schedule. Like today I woke up, drove Peter to school. Then I went to hyperbaric chamber treatment out of town. Then I drove back, met my son, who was with a whole bunch of students at a mall doing charity work for the high school. It's called the Angel Campaign. They were shopping for families in need, I met them at the mall. I had lunch at the mall with my son. I picked up my son. I drove him home to get his basketball jersey. I went and coached a basketball team today. And then I came home, and my wife, she had these smash burger patties that she cooked up on the grill. I wolfed down a couple of them. And then I got myself some carbonated water, and I'm on film with my buddy JT right now. You know what I mean? Like, that's my deal. And let's go. Let's rock and roll, right? Like I know, like I don't want to hear, you gotta take it easy. You gotta take it. I take it easy. Why do I take it easy? I got one life to live. I got one life to live right now.
You know, the body in motion stays in motion. That's what I've heard, and I honestly believe in that.
Yes, I thank you, JT. I am, and everybody listening, get moving the way you think is moving the best. Everybody's different. I'm not saying you need to do what Jeff DeProsperous does and you got to do 20 push-ups every single day. You don't know. No, you know what? If you're moving is getting up and maybe just doing some leg swings here and there to loosen up the body, that's moving, right? Like, you got to do what you got to do, right? Everybody's different. Everybody's built different, and everybody functions different. But just doing a little bit of movement is better than, hey, you come home from work and you eat dinner, you lie on the couch. We all get in these bad habits all the time of doing those things, right?
I've gotten in that habit, and I've never had cancer, so it's like it doesn't. It's a mindset thing, and I feel like even if you have cancer or don't have cancer, if you've got a negative attitude and a bad mindset, like, you're going to be set up for a lot of unfortunate things in life. And you know, even with a good mindset, that doesn't mean everything's going to go perfect in life. But I feel like with a good attitude and good mindset, it's how we respond to the things. You know, someone brought up the Rocky, and I swear that's what you remind me of, man. The Rocky,
man. And the Rocky, like Rocky Balboa.
Yeah, and he always says, man, it's not about getting knocked down. It's how many times you get back up. It's not how many times you got knocked down. It's whether you keep getting back up or not. That's makes a real fighter. That's what makes a winner. And
that's awesome.
That's what when I think of you, man. I think, and I'm like, well, a body in motion stays in motion. If he refuses to stop moving, how's he going to be stopped? If this guy, if he refuses to stay down, how could they keep him down? It's a decision you're making.
You know what? You just made that clear to me. You're absolutely right, JT. If I listen, I'm not going to leave this world if I keep moving, right? So I got to keep moving. You're absolutely right. You just opened my eyes to that, and I just realized why I'm doing what I'm doing. You're right.
In just a brief thing, I had a near-death experience with my sleep apnea, and I had this voice that came to me and told me that if I didn't keep trying to fight, you know, to breathe, I was gonna be done here on my journey. Yes. And I made the decision. I said, no, I'm not done yet. And and it was the longest 20 minutes of my life, just getting barely any air in.
I can only imagine.
It was like being choked, man, tortured. But I kept deciding. I was like, no, screw you. If I can blink and breathe, I'm going to live. And I wasn't breathing much, but I kept making that decision. I'm not done yet. I'm not done yet. You ain't getting rid of me. I'm not. And that was before I was a husband. That was before I was a father. So I had, you know, I wasn't afraid of dying. I was dying in the moment. But what I was afraid of was squandering my opportunities at life, everything, meeting more friends, becoming a father, becoming a husband. I had thought I pissed it all down the drain. And that's really what scared me and made me fight, because I was like, wow, I refuse to have that be my story. You know, like that's how I go out. Like I said, no.
That's
so
awesome.
You remind me of that. You're just like, well, how can you kill a guy who refuses to die? It's like Michael Myers. In a good way, you know. I'm
seeing like your mask on the wall there. Is that like a Freddy Krueger mask or something back there? What do you got?
Yeah, this is a little Freddy Krueger.
Yeah. That's awesome.
It's a candy dish, but since I'm carnivore now, it's empty. So
yes, that's it. You got to put some like pork rinds in there or something.
Yeah, pork rinds, or you know, like little pieces of goat soap or something.
No, your room there looks pretty awesome. And I was going to ask you, you haven't told me yet. How many kids you have?
I've got one.
You got one. What is it, boy or girl?
boy, I got one boy. He's 2 years old. His name is William, and like you said, he's the light of my life. Him and my wife, and
Yeah, yeah,
you. It helps, man. He's one of my core values, my family,
for sure.
and setting a good example for him. That's one of the main reasons I quit drinking and all that stuff. I want him to see a good role model, and if he gets into that stuff, that's on him as an adult. But I don't want
Yes,
him to say he learned it from me, and I want him to know like I'm a good source of influence for him, like I want him to know I'm a rock, I'm not
that's very awesome. That's
I'm not
awesome.
going to just be flimsy in his life. Minute I'm doing this, 1 minute I'm doing that. I want him to know, okay, this is the way dad is. Dad's a good guy, and that's the way I should be.
100%. You sound like you know what you're doing there, JT. Because you know what?
Hey, I'm learning. I'm learning as a father. It's tough, and any tips as a father? Your boys are older than mine, so that's why I was kind of asking you about teenagers because one day he'll be there.
Switching it up.
What's this one say?
This one says St. John's Eagles. So that's my school. Okay, so that's my high school. Okay, and this is does this say football? No, it just says Eagles. But this pink ribbon, this is funny. I think I mentioned this in one of my videos. I was doing the supplement video, right?
They've got the
And
wrong color, right? I think
yeah,
you
they got
said.
the wrong color. That's right. So my high school football team, and I hope my friend Kevin is listening. If Kevin's listening, because he's a teacher friend of mine, he's a really good friend of mine. But he's kind of like this. He's kind of like the president. I labeled him the president of the football program at my high school. So, like me as the athletic director, when it comes to football, Kevin, you take care of it, right? And he runs. We got a junior team and we got a senior team. And anyways, when I went off sick the following school year, uh, during the summer, they were planning for football, high school football. They got a whole bunch of new helmets made. Someone in the community donated a lot of money. We're very blessed for that. But what along the same guy that donated money, he said, "Hey, I want to make something special on the helmets for Jeff DeProsperous going off sick." So he goes, "Let's make ribbons and we'll stick it on the back, and it says JD for Jeff DeProsperous in the middle." So, anyways, I'm on the sidelines. This is like not this past fall, but the fall before, like when I first went off, and I'm looking at the helmets. And I'm going, everybody here is going to think I have breast cancer, right? Because it's pink. And so it's kind of funny. And shout out, listen, listen, this is good. It's a good cause no matter what, right? But it's funny. It should be blue. Colon cancer's ribbon's blue. So, anyways, I think it's a good souvenir for me now. And Kevin and the guy that donated the helmets, you guys had a great intention, and I love it. And even though it's the wrong color, I still cherish it. And I love the color pink, by the way. Pink has been one of my favorite colors. As a teacher, I try to wear pink t-shirts as much as possible.
I love it, and you got the eagle on you, man, and that represents a lot of things, man. And one of them is a release from bondage, freedom, inspiration, and I think you embody all that. So I think it's very funny that you've got
Nice,
two eagles
nice.
on right now, man. Because
Yeah, absolutely. I always want to try to fly high like an eagle, right? And there's like sounds like you're a pretty faith-based person, JT. And it's there's a lot of references I think in the Bible, in terms of you know analogies on how we need to live our life, and the eagles mentioned a few times in there. So, um, yeah, I'm proud. I'm proud. Like I said, I'm proud. I'm proud of my school. I'm proud of my job. I'm proud of working with students. So I'm always showing it.
now we're getting to the top of the hour here. What's
Sure.
something that's on your heart that you would like to talk about? Anything on your heart, Jeff?
That's a good question. You know, hmm, hmm. Um, what's on my heart, is when I look at that title, Healing Humanity. That's on my heart every single day now, because I'm really, that's the whole point of me starting this YouTube thing. I'm doing it for other people. And in return, it's now helping me. It really is. But I'm doing this for other people. And what's on my heart is when I open up, uh, and I don't do this all the time, but as I'm lying in bed at night, or sometimes when I wake up in the morning, because those are the difficult times that I'm having. I always tell people I go to bed at night, and when I wake up in the morning, it's on my mind, right? But when I open up, what do you call it? The studio app, right?
Mhm.
You open up the studio app, and that's the YouTube studio where it sums everything up. And I take a look at even today. So if I open it up right now and I take a look at it, my video I made today of me going into the tube, right? And I can see the latest comments, and I see like someone here, yes, you got this, Jeff, or I love your smile and great attitude. You're a rock. Like I'm reading this right now. Someone wrote that 2 hours ago. I'm like, man, that's on my heart, and it makes me feel so good, so good. And then I read, and then sometimes these comments are like, they're like this long, and they're telling me their story about they have stage 4 cancer right now, and this is what they're going through, or their sister and their father died 2 years ago and didn't know all this, and they wish they would have met me 2 years ago. And then I'm like, oh, but then they give me some encouraging words. You got to keep doing what you're doing. You got to keep telling your story, right? You got to keep sharing. You got to keep doing the interviews. Like tonight, I knew I was meeting with you, JT, and you're a cool guy. But other than meeting you and you're a cool guy, and I know I started a friendship now with you, this video, I know I'm going to open up tomorrow and I'm going to read the comments, and it's going to touch my heart, and it's going to touch my heart. And I want to thank everybody out there, right? Like you are these people writing these comments are blessings. They're blessings on my journey right now. And they're motivating me to keep doing them. Tomorrow night I'm on with, what's his name? Homesick Buckeye.
Russ.
Russ is hilarious. Like, and my boys, and I hope he sings a song for my boys, because that's the joy and happiness. That's why, and everybody out there, I know there's a lot of other people that say, hey, I've been getting emails like crazy. Like, you want to do a podcast with me? You want to do an interview with me? I can't do one with everybody, right? I have to focus on Jeff too. Because
You gotta be selfish. You gotta be.
I know I'm on a journey right now becoming cancer free, and I got to take care of my family. I got to take care of Peter. I got to take care of my wife, my other son Dante. I got to take care of my mom. I got to take care of all the close people in my life. So I got to live my life too. I can't let this consume me, right? But certain people like yourself and Russ tomorrow night, like I'm looking forward to him tomorrow night. It's a Friday night is my favorite time of the week, especially when my sons get out of school. And when I was teaching Friday at 3:30, when I'm home after school, I'm like, wow, let's rock and roll. Let's have a good family dinner. Let's do whatever. So tomorrow night, I'm going to be excited because it's Friday night, and I'm eating this week. And I get to hang out with Homesick Buckeye. I hope he's watching this, because I hope he gets prepared, because I'm gonna come prepared for him. I got to think of something creative, like these bucket hats, something.
Yeah, Russ. He's a fun guy. He's a good guy, very generous guy. He made a lot of donations for the documentary during the 24-hour live stream.
Yes, that's awesome.
Yeah, and it's nice to see you just getting to share your story, because it's such an amazing story, man. And I know you hear it all the time, but you are an inspiration, man. Like it's important to be said, because I think it's easy to forget. I think in your position, because you're just like, well, I'm just some dude, and I'm just one person. Like, yeah, just one inspirational dude, like that's what you are, man. And you mean a lot to us. And
Thanks.
I'm honored that you accepted the invitation to come on here and gave me a chance to get to know you. And yes, we did start a friendship, man. We got
Thank you.
the same glasses and hats on, man. The same positive attitude. I absolutely love it.
One more change.
Let's
Okay?
go.
This is Adidas, right? And I'm a big sports.
You look like Chafee and me morphed together.
This is a shout out to Chafee and JT. Two guys. This is amazing. Chafee better be watching this. And Chafee, if you want to really impress me, the next time you do something, you get an Adidas black bucket hat like this, right?
There you go, man. Yeah, I saw that. I was like, holy crap. It's like you morphed his hat into a bucket hat. I absolutely loved it, man.
I didn't even think of that. I just wanted I'm a bigger Nike fan. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a big Nike fan. I'm a Michael Jordan fan. Nike Air Jordans I'm big on. But Adidas, because I played a lot of soccer, right? So Adidas, I'm a big time. And Adidas is making a huge comeback right now in the sports world. I think they're top notch as well. But anyways, you know,
Well, they've
also
got Chafee as the poster boy,
yeah,
so how can they do wrong, man?
and he's like a superhero. He really
It,
is. Like I don't know. When he takes his shirt off, that one video he gets angry because someone said he was getting fat, and he took his shirt off and he started flexing. Like, holy smokes, this guy's like the Hulk, man. Same with Sean Baker sometimes, right? Sean Baker's like the senior Hulk.
yeah, I felt like I got a little too skinny and was neglecting my exercise a little bit, so I've been bumping up the weights a little bit, and I'm trying
That's good.
to put some muscle weight on and keep burning that fat and keep that low body fat.
Yes,
But
yes.
I don't want to be all scrawny. And my wife says it was looking like I was skipping leg day all the time. I said, "Oh man."
Yeah. Your wife is right, man. We can't be those guys that just work the upper body and then they got chicken legs, right?
Yeah, she doesn't. She needs a little more to get excited. So I was like, all right, I gotta start. I gotta start pumping some more weights. Man. I gotta get it back.
Yeah. You got to make some more babies. You only got one baby, so you got to keep your wife excited.
Absolutely, man. I'll tell you, the channel will grow, kids and all. I had a
Absolutely.
blast, though. I want to respect your time and
Yes, thank you.
yes, and let you get on with your night. You
So
guys,
I'm gonna go snap. I'm just telling you right now. We didn't talk about carnivore. We didn't talk about meat much for carnivore for chatting with carnivores because we don't need to. We know people are going to be motivated. But I'm going to tell you right now. This is one more. This is a shout out to meat. I'm ending this. I'm going to go have one more smash burger, a bowl of pork rinds, right? Maybe a couple good pepperettes that have very minimal ingredients in it because I'm excited to eat, and I'm always excited to eat meat, right? I think Robert Kilt says something like that, something along those lines. Carnivore heals, keto helps, carnivore heals. That's what he says all the time.
yep, better food, better mood, man. I honestly believe that. And
Yes,
thank you, Jeff, for coming on, man. We look great, man. Both of us are
100%.
thriving. I love it.
Hey, listen, I want to do more with you. Okay, so
Absolutely.
please promise, especially when the nice weather comes, because then we can wear our bucket hats and we can wear like a we're going to the beach tank top type thing. You know what I mean? Like
I'm ready. I'm getting my beach body, so
that's right. Let's do it.
I'm ready, bro, man. Let's go. You guys,
sounds good.
This has been a blast. I appreciate you guys out there watching, everybody. Sorry we didn't get through the super chats, but there will be another one. Hopefully Jeff will come back sometime, and we will do this again. So thank you guys. Thank you and goodbye, guys. I'll do my